D again, Future Fathers podcast. Let's get this one running. Coffee and a smoke. Yes. So, how you all been? First of all, I've been good. Not too much going on. Well, actually, work is alright. Everything's going okay. I need to find my. Yep, there we go. Yeah, everything's alright. Work is okay. Kind of getting back to normal. Everything's moving nicely. So today I kind of wanted to just speak to you and have you like discuss how we deal with children growing, if that's what you want to call it. I don't know, them dealing with different situations, friends, potential friends, girlfriends, relationships. As your child gets older, there's a lot more you have to consider. There's a lot more you have to kind of help them with, you know, going through life. There's a lot of things that as parents we have to help teach them. And anyone that's watching the video, don't mind the light. That's daytime outside. That's what daytime looks like. And obviously for the podcast, it's bright and it's very warm. So, as I said, it's just about how you deal with your children growing up, dealing with different situations. As you all know, I've got two boys, 18 and 15, very proud of them, very thankful for them in my life, and hopefully they're thankful for me too. My brothers, how do we deal with them going through life, dealing with different situations? I mean, like I said, relationships, girlfriends, friends, different, looking for jobs, teaching your sons how to shave, teaching your girlfriends how, or teaching your daughters how to determine whether a certain man them is good for them or not. Like, because obviously, not every man's good for some woman, not every woman's good for some man. I'm just saying, my woman's good for me, my son's girlfriend seems like she's good for him, so it's all good. It's all good. But how do you deal with things? Like me personally, you know what, I got two boys. So there's no far arsing around. I can't afford, none of us, if you got sons or even daughters, can afford to be complacent with your children. None of us. It hurts too much when you do that. You're not teaching them nothing. You can't really help them with too much if you're not present or at least, you know, involved. And even then, if you're not involved or you don't have that kind of presence, how are you going to help them? How can you help them? Because maybe they don't want your help or your assistance. Maybe they don't want your advice or they just don't know how to take it from you. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, maybe they don't know how to take it from you. It's not a bad thing. It's just one of them things that happens, unfortunately. You know, we get stuck in life and life takes over. I'm one of these people. Like, I was heavily involved in music, and you know what? Life said, hey, what, my brother? You're either gonna have to do music and wait to see if you get paid or start working and get that paper. I've got children. That means I've got responsibilities. I need my paper. There's other people in the world that don't do that and it benefits them. And you know what? I give thanks for everything that anybody gets, especially if it's something good. One person in particular I have to rate, my brother, Nay. At Say Nay Official, you know, go and check him out. YouTube at Say Nay. He's a music man. And he can deal with music and life in a way that I know a lot of people can't. They just can't do it. And children as well. Being a dad, rah, my brother's got strength, you know. Like I said, it's different strengths for different people. You might not have the strength to do that. I might not have the strength to do that. Other people have the strength to do that. And where you may see you're lacking in something, somebody else isn't. It's a balance. It's give and take, man. You know, life is a learning lesson, and we have to teach this to our children. When our children don't know this, they go through life making the same mistakes that we made without even knowing it. And especially if you're not there to guide them through them different situations, man, your children are lost. Lost. And especially the black boys as well. You have to be teaching them something strong, man, real strong. Otherwise, it gets to a point where they ain't bothering to listen to nobody. Don't worry, it's not no doppy in my house because I don't deal with them things there very well. It's people upstairs in the flat upstairs. Anyway, I don't even remember what I was saying. It doesn't matter. The whole point is your children are what you strive for in life to make their lives better than your life is or was was only because it's past tense we're talking about. Every parent wants their child to have better than they did. There we go. And any parent that tells you otherwise is either not a parent or they don't business about their children. Simple as. Because any decent parent is going to want their child to go a lot further than they did. Some may not be prepared to give the certain lessons that they need to give, and some are well prepared to give those, or should I say not prepared to give those lessons. They're a bit overzealous with them lessons. They just, yeah, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. Do you know what? Your child has a life of their own. You have to let them learn certain lessons for themselves. Otherwise, they will make the same mistakes you made, but later on in life, and it will be harder for them to deal with those lessons because they never knew about them. They didn't know, they had no idea. Ooh, it's warm today, people. As I was saying, children are a blessing, and giving them the power to go forward in life is a blessing. Giving them different tools. So, when, how can I put this, so to speak, because I used to work on a building site, so a lot of things for me is analogies in building. If you give your child the right tools, they can build a better house than you built. Simple. If you give them the right education, and I'm not talking about education in school, I'm talking particularly education culturally, as a human being, i.e., we're talking if you're male, female, there's different lessons you have to teach your child. It's as simple as that. So we're talking as a human being, we're talking culturally, we're talking ethically, we're talking morally. Those kind of lessons that you teach your children, invaluable. Invaluable. Because it will teach them to be a better person in life, for one. It will teach them how to teach other people, which will make it easier for them when they're actually giving advice to other people and when they eventually have their own children, if that is in the cards for them. If the Most High see it fit for them to have their own children, they're more equipped to deal with the situations that they have gone through themselves and had advice with in teaching the next generation. That's what it's all about. We just want to keep perpetuating good. I want to make sure it's good. I hope all my listeners want to make sure it's good. I hope all of you in video land want to make sure it's good, because that's the only way to move forward. That's the only way to keep our people and, you know what, humanity in general moving forward. If we're all coming together and we're all able to say yes on one thing, or at least if you can't agree, you're able to say, right, you know what, there is a disagreement, but this is how we're going to deal with it. There has to be a compromise. There has to be a middle ground. And I'm talking with everything, including your children. You have to know how to deal with them in order to deal with their own situations, because every child is different. Excuse me. I've got two boys. And for me, I'll tell you like I tell them. One selfish and one don't care. But you know what? Me knowing that about my children helps me deal with them differently. And I'm not saying that, one's always me, and the other one's just like, yeah, whatever. No, I'm talking in the general sense that one is very, because one's older and they've had more time on their own, they're very self-orientated. The other one is very flippant in the sense that, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. The boy can never make up his mind. But do you know what? I love that about both of them, because one is very driven and the other one is very competitive, because it's all they're one's always chopping and changing, and one is right. I'm gonna do this, and he at least tries to focus as best he can, which I can only ask of them. All I ask of them is that they try. Life is not for the weak. It's not for the ones that of the ones of us that like to sit down and say, "Oh, well, do you know what? I don't know if that's gonna go well." Teach your children to be able to deal with that and take it upon themselves to say, "Rod, do you know what? I don't know if I can deal with that, but I'm still gonna go for it." My two have always been told, you know what? Don't let anybody tell you you can't do anything, including me. Because I'm just another person. At the end of the day, I might be your dad, but I'm just another person. I can fuel you with as much information as possible, but I should be ready to, take a back seat whenever they're ready to say, all right, you know what? Do what you're doing. Go ahead. You do what you're doing, and I'll watch from the sidelines. If you need me, you know exactly where I am. My brothers and sisters, that's all it's about. Self perpetuation. You make it better for yourself, you make it better for your children. That's all it's about. Keeping the knowledge fresh and keeping it right. Making sure your children are prepared and have the knowledge and tools to go forward in life. I try my best. I hope they see it like that. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. But I can only hope for what I hope for. So, my brothers and sisters, I'm going to leave you with that today. And seeing as how it's a nice Friday, 31st of July, and it's a nice afternoon, we're going to see exactly what the rest of the day brings for all of us. I'm hoping for all of you it's all good. I'm hoping for myself and everyone else around me that it's all good. My brothers and sisters, take it with you in your heart. Love is always great. Take it with you in your mind. Knowledge is always power. Teach this to your children today, at least in one lesson, some way, shape or form. Let them know that you got their back and you're ready to teach them whenever they need teaching. But there is a line that, they can't cross with certain things. So obviously certain lessons can only be learned at certain points in life. My brothers and sisters, I'm D, future fathers, stay blessed.